Today we are going to discuss a very new topic, that is carbon footprints. What are these carbon footprints and how they are leave behind or how they are accumulated in the environment. First of all, what are the carbon footprints? Carbon footprint is a measure or impact of any activity performed by us in the environment. Or in another language, you can say it is a set of greenhouse gases emitted by each and every activity performed by an individual in the environment. That is known as carbon footprints. And we measure these carbon footprints into tons or into the kgs. The carbon footprints may be of two types. They may be the primary carbon footprints or they may be the secondary carbon footprints. All the electric appliances we use in our houses are primary carbon footprint emitters, such as the use of refrigeration, which is never switched on. It always remains switched on in our houses, and use of car driving, boilers, geysers, tumbler dryers, and any electric appliances we use in our houses, that is, all these appliances are the primary carbon footprint emitters. Whereas all the food which is ready-made or all the articles which are ready-made we are buying or shopping from the markets, they comes under the category of secondary carbon footprint emitters. This slide is showing that how much amount of a country is sharing in the world as a carbon footprint emitters. So the first at the top is the China. The China is emitting 27.2% of carbon dioxide. And the second number is of US, and third is our country, and fourth one is Russia. And all these 5 countries here, you can see that these 4 countries, they are contributing more than 70% of total world population. This is the world population, so here you can understand that they are sharing more than 70% of world population, and they are emitting such amount of carbon dioxides and leaving behind carbon footprints. Here one more thing is to be noted, that this is the amount of population the country are sharing. Our country is sharing 17.5% of total population of world, and only we are emitting 6.3% of carbon dioxide. Whereas the US sharing only 4.5% of the population of the total world, and they are emitting 15.6% of carbon footprints. So US is in this way is on the top, emitting more carbon particles in the environment, and later on the China. This slide is showing that by which activities and how much amount of carbon dioxide is being emitted. Here you can see that 15% of the carbon footprints or the carbon dioxide is emitted by the use of our gas, oil and coal we use in our houses. And 12% is coming from all the electric appliances we are using in our home. And 10% is contributed by our private transports. Whereas 14% is being contributed by the infrastructure buildings made on the earth, and 12% are being shared by the public services. So here you can see that the these four elements are contributing more carbon footprints, that is our home, use of electric appliances, and mainly the transportation. So we are coming one by one. The embodied carbon is the carbon dioxide that is emitted and associated with the materials of the constructions. And all the materials which are used in the constructions, they have embodied carbons. And it is very different from the operational carbon. Operational carbon is emits after when all these infrastructures they come in use, such as use of electricity, use of gas, use of gasoline, use of petrol and fuels, etc. So embodied carbon is expected to be account for nearly 50% of the overall carbon footprint of new constructions between 2013 to 2050. So it means the infrastructure and the building or the development is sharing 50% of total carbon footprints in the universe. The next important part I have told you that the transportation is sharing the is a major contributor in the increase of carbon footprints. Carbon dioxide emission from a gallon of gasoline is 8,887 grams per carbon dioxide per gallon, whereas the diesel, through the diesel, 10,180 grams of carbon dioxide is being emitted. An average passenger vehicle emits about 404 grams of carbon dioxide per mile. A typical passenger vehicle emits approximately 4.6 metric tons of carbon dioxide per year. And here I have given you a few examples at how much amount of carbon dioxide is being emitted by particular vehicle. Through the rail, from 2005 to 2015, carbon dioxide emission from rail transport per passenger per kilometer decreased by 21.7%. Is a good indication to reduce the carbon dioxide emission. In 2015, the top 4 emitters were China, Russia, and European Union. And India was the fourth, that is 7.7% of carbon dioxide is emitted through our rail transportation. The share of rail transporter in global emission is trending down for China -3%, whereas it was increased in the India +7% due to the development as a development country. And we have to reduce it. And through the sea transportation, the international shipping accounts for about 2.2% of global greenhouse gas emission. This data is being procured from the United Nations. Our food. Food is also a major contributor to release the carbon dioxide. Protein-rich foods accounts for the bulk of our dietary emissions, and European diets, meat, dairy and eggs accounts approximately 83% of carbon dioxide. Whereas the plant-rich proteins, they emit very less amount of carbon dioxide. So as a consumer, the biggest difference we can make is to eat more plant-based proteins such as tofu, nuts, peas and beans. Now another important industry is our textile. The current greenhouse gas emission from textile production is already stand at 1.2 billion tons annually, and they contributing a major amount into the greenhouse gases. The carbon dioxide emitted to create 1 ton of spun fiber as much higher for synthetics than for hemp or cotton. It means the cotton, when we are manufacturing the cotton, it is releasing less carbon dioxide in comparison to the synthetics. And the nylon, formation manufacturing of the nylon, it emits nitrous oxide. It is again a poisonous gas, and it depletes our ozone layer, and because its lifespan is very long, that is 120 years, and it can reach up to the stratosphere to deplete our ozone layer. Here the few fibers I have given how much carbon dioxide they are emitting, and here you can see the carbon dioxide cotton liberating the less amount of carbon dioxide than the wool, and the polyester and nylon is liberating the highest amount of carbon dioxide. So we should need better technology to reduce the amount of carbon dioxide emission in the manufacturing of all the polyesters and nylon cloths. Here I am usually giving you the picture. So we should go for this for the cotton. Now cement is a major contributor to emit more amount of carbon dioxide. As you know that limestone is converted into the lime, that is calcium oxide, and carbon dioxide is liberated during the cement production. And the cement production contributes approximately about 8% of the world carbon dioxide emission. And basically the clinker and constituent of the cement, it emits large amount of carbon dioxide during the formation of the cement. In 2016, world cement production generated about 2.2 billion tons of carbon dioxide, that is equivalent to 8% of global total. And you will be surprised to know that India and China are the major countries who are manufacturing cements. Now, what are the ways to reduce these greenhouse gases? How can we reduce? So we can reduce them by waste heat recovery system. We have to develop the systems, and we should use the insulations and combustion chambers, and we should upgrade our technology for the different life sources and lower consumptions. And we should use alternative energy such as solar and the wind energy, and we should do the reforestations and for carbon offsetting and for lowering the emission of the carbon dioxide is the our few measure or the preventive measures we can take. Now, important is that how can we reduce the greenhouse gases? The first greenhouse gases, that is carbon dioxide emission. So we can reduce it with the use of renewable sources such as solar and the wind energy. And we should use all the appliances which have energy star and consume more energy, more electricity, less electricity in comparison to another low quality of electric appliances. Reduction of methane should be done at the prime uh, because it comes out from the all solid waste management garbages, landfills, and we should check on the emission of this methane gas because it is also a constituent to emit more carbon dioxide in the environment as the CH4, and but fossil fuels also produce CH4 as a byproduct. We should uh, check the fossil fuels burning, and we should develop some better technology to reduce this CH4 production to the solid waste garbage. Reduction of nitrous oxide, as I have told you, that nylon, during the manufacturing of the nylon, this nitrous oxide is being comes out, but is very dangerous, and its life cycle is 120 years to biodegrade, and it causes harm to our stratosphere, reaches to the stratosphere and deplete our ozone layer, and UV radiation reach out to the earth and harms to the human beings. And similarly, the use of synthetic fertilizers which have nitrogenous bases, we should check the use of these fertilizers. We should go for the organic fertilizers. And we should check the fluorinated gases also. These F gases are powerful greenhouse gases with global warming effect up to 23,000 times greater than the carbon dioxide. It means that these gases are more dangerous than the emission of the carbon dioxide. So we should totally check the emission of these fluorinated gases, CFCs gases, and hydrofluorocarbon gases, which are used in our refrigeration, in our air conditioning, heat pump equipment, as a blowing agents of the homes, as solvents, and as a fire extinguishers, and which leaves behind as an aerosol in our environment. Now, we can also reduce these carbon particles, the carbon dioxide emission in the environment by doing simple change in our day-to-day lifestyle. We can use the CFL light bulbs to check the use of more electricity. We can use the high quality of electric appliances which consume less electricity. We should use the all motor cars which consumes less fuels in comparison to our high fuel efficient motors, and we should check our greenhouse gases to collect just to stop the emission of these carbon dioxide and leave behind these carbon footprints. Hope you will understand the concept of carbon footprints, and definitely will check the use of these emission of the carbon dioxide. Thank you.